Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk Thinking Right out here in my lab. I'm in the book. I'm about to wrap it up. We in the last chapter. I'm gonna end up with the a qualified aspirant from the how to overcome failures of the spiritual path, and a qualified aspirant will let you know how to do just that. And after that, I'm gonna take you through the checklist, spiritual checklist, things you need to do as a spiritual philosopher follower. Let's rock. Rightisms. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life, through into a spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, add to my eye be true. All right, let's talk about P-Funk philosophy on the last part about this lesson of how to overcome the failures on the path of spiritual mastery, self-mastery, a qualified aspirant. Let's talk about that. I'm going to break it down for you what it is. And then we're going to wrap up with the spiritual checklist. It's the things, the do's and don'ts that you might want to make a mental note of. All right, let's rock. A qualified aspirant, that would be you. You will not wait for the teachings, but you will make a way to get them. Find a way, make it happen. I agree. Now, he or she will not sit around hoping to find or run into a teacher. The first task is for you to make yourself what we call a qualified aspirant. What's a qualified aspirant? Somebody who's going to purify themselves physically and mentally and use their due diligence in the studies under the guidance of your own conscience. In the beginning, you start with you. When you get to things that you don't understand, you reach out and you find somebody who do. I see a whole bunch of teachers of a philosophy that I'm teaching, different, but I see a lot of them going on. So you pick one, okay? And be hopefully if you get one that know what they're doing, that can help you to do what you need to do. That's the only thing you gotta worry about. There's a lot of fakes, a lot of charlatans out there, a lot of phonies, but they claim to know when they get you hooked with the good rhetoric and nothing happens but you spend a whole bunch of money. If anybody's gonna help you, ask you for money, walk away. That's the first thing. Walk away. Okay, no. If they ask for money, you already know what they're about. Moving on. They say money is the root of all evil. I just did y'all lesson about money, money, money. Spiritualists, spiritual people, money is not the end all be all for us. Okay? And I say us because there's a few of us who feel that way. Those who don't, you ain't with us. Like Katie, they're not like us. But there is a time when you yourself must seek out for a teacher, an instructor, a sage, a saint, somebody who knows the way to where you want to go. You don't make your own way. You get somebody who knows the way and you practice and you roll with them. You must have the wherewithal and the positive attitude that if whatever I must do, wherever I must travel, even if it's the other side of the world, then that is what I need to do to get what I need done. That's what I'm going to do. That's a qualified aspirant willing to do whatever they got to do to get what they want. And in life, if the goals that you're seeking, you got to make the decisions what to do to get there, to reach there. Some people like shortcuts. Some people like favors. Some people, do the other stuff. But no, hard work, perseverance, always the best route. But if you don't want to leave your family, and that's normal. I didn't. I did mine right here. Or your friends, you can't change your job. So all those things, you just can't uproot your life and say, I'm going to be a qualified aspirant, go find me a teacher. That nonsense. No, you got to put it in perspective, understand the priorities, and work it into your daily life schedule. That's how it's done. So you can pursue the teachings and gain enlightenment. Then you should not, because you will not succeed if you force yourself. It should be a what? A will, a desire, aspirate. You should aspire to do this. Nobody should twist your arm. You shouldn't be forced to do better yourself. No, that's a choice that you got to make for yourself. So you, yourself, again, have to realize that you are not yet fit for what? Spiritual advancement. You ain't ready. And the best thing about that is you got to recognize that. Don't jump into something, Jamal, man. I don't know if I'm ready for this. That's a little too late. That's Monday morning quarterbacking. That's like getting halfway through a situation, but I don't know what I'm doing. You're too far from the beginning to go back. You're too far out here to get where you're going. So you ass out. Trust me on that one. So bad decision making, no planning is planning to fail in life. So when you know you ain't ready for advancement, that means you got to take time to prepare yourself to make yourself a qualified aspirant for what? Aspirant for the teaching. Why? My job is to teach. That's all I got. Teaching, instruction, information. I don't control nothing about your character, nothing about you at all. That's your job, okay? But even college students, we all leave home in pursuit for what? Of our dreams, our life. You're going out and start that venture out into life, okay? In college is where it starts, okay? 17, 18 years old. But we could be said about those, what could be said about those who what? Who don't want to pursue. Right there. Ignorant people won't want to pursue better than themselves. They will never pursue the greatest goal of life, which is what? Know thyself. Oh, not to be rich and famous. No. Not to be the best. Nope. Not to be the GOAT. Nope. Just know yourself. Why? Because you are holding on to worldly things. If you don't want to be your best self, you caught up in this material world. You caught up in stuff. That ain't spiritual. That's physical. And that's egoistical and ignorant. Just want to let you know. And these are some of the keys that for all who wish to excel on the spiritual path to self-mastery in the teachings that you have to learn. But you should have a special focus on all that you have to study and the teachings that's being presented to you. At some time, you have to find yourself without success that reaches beyond a specific point. If you're being taught something and you don't understand what's being taught, get information, get understanding. Don't just let it go. It's an important aspect of the teachings that when you don't understand it, you can't get the lesson. A determined aspirant, right thinker, you as a determined right thinker, you must see the endeavor. You must get the understanding. You got to do the work. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. Whenever a determined aspirant, you being a determined aspirant, you must see and understand all the endeavors that you take on. And in order for you to reach that spiritual awakening in the end, you have to have your due diligence to do the willpower to stay strong and have your intestinal fortitude to see it through and get what it is you came to get. If this is not done, if you ain't putting forth that effort, you the aspirant, you will forever become a wanderer in the wilderness of life. Meaning you don't know yourself, you're ignorant, but you think you do, and you go around just doing haphazard, willy-nilly stuff, and have to suffer through the pains and sorrows of your actions due to your own ignorance. Okay, so you will end up the deluded and sufferings of your self-agonized or self-grandized concepts, believing that you have attained when in reality, knowledge and understanding, but in reality, you are just projecting onto the world, okay, your notion of reality and reflecting within your illusions and thinking that you are on your way to sagehood, meaning you believing that you get knowledge, you believing that you got it all together. You really don't. Okay, that's fraud at its worst, at its highest level. Excuse me. Watch this. Such personalities. We see the fakers. We see the preachers, and all they want is that money. We see the personalities that walk the earth without the necessities of humanity or the humility to what? For themselves to realize they own the graded state of mind, thereby they are depriving themselves of the illuminating association with an authentic teacher. If they're not being taught by somebody who knows what they're doing, they're going to be going the wrong way and thinking they got something that they really don't. You know them kind of people? Bragging. But ain't really done nothing but just talking. It's a bunch of words. I don't want to hear how much you got. I don't care how much money you make. Dad, don't give about your salary. Don't do nothing for me. How much you make, don't put no money in my damn pocket. So all that, I make so. Who cares? Personal information. Those kind of people, stay away from them. Okay. Others, and these kind of people, will try to convince themselves that they have practiced correctly, but did not seek out counseling of authentic teachers. So there are this passion. They have turned their passion turns into morose and sometimes even morbid discontent with all things, including the teaching. They blame everybody but themselves. The teaching didn't good. It wasn't right. He didn't know what he was talking about. Again, putting the blame everywhere except where it belongs, on yourself. Take responsibility. And failure in life is not a loss. It should be made or taught as a lesson learned what not to do. So if what you're doing working, don't keep doing that. You got the message, that's the lesson. Now let's go over to what I call the spiritual checklist. These are things that a spiritual aspirant wants to hold himself accountable for. Again, being responsible for what you say and do. Please get a grip on that one. When you are more thoughtful of what comes out your mouth, you're more responsible for the action that you take. You are better off for that. Trust me, that's self-mastery. Now, in the last issue, we began part 2, a series of how to overcome life's failures on the spiritual path. You're going to have some bumps in the road. You're going to have some situations, but that shouldn't deter you or stop you on your road for what? Reaching spiritual enlightenment. Nihas. Okay? This brought out a certain issue that are very important for you aspirants to understand. This is personal. Many times, as you aspirant get into the teachings, for some time they may get into a rut, so to speak, where they don't see the progress. They think they just going through the motions every day they're doing, and they really getting nothing out of it. Don't fall for the okie doke. Okay, that's to see where your diligence are. That's to see where your sincerity is, and you get to the rut, as it were, so to speak. And this is what happens. Now, the practice, you practice as many of the teachings and the disciplines as you can. But as you do that, sometimes you get to a point where you must drop certain disciplines. You must stop practicing this in order to practice others due to what? Lack of time in these circumstances, and a certain irregularity will start to perform in the daily practice of your spiritual disciplines. Why? It will develop, and now the quality of all your disciplines that you practice will suffer. If you're not giving 100% effort into what you're doing, it won't work. So if you can't walk and chew gum, I mean, you can't do two things at once, do one thing at a time. Get proficient at walking, and then you start to learn how to chew the gum. That's how it's done. So your worldly activities, things that you got to do, again, they're there, but your worldly activities and your relations become intermingled. It becomes part of your life. I did everything I do, my right thinking, I wove it into my way of life and it fit perfect. Why? Because I allow it to take its own course and do what I need to do and follow by the rules that I'm listening and learning, and I'm living by them, holding myself accountable. So they're gonna intermingle with what? With your other disciplines, which is cool. I told you, you can practice them all intricately, or you can practice one at a time. But they all the disciplines of your spiritual program. You need to master all of them, because if not, it become haphazard. Okay, it's willy nilly. It's spot of no. You don't need none of that. It's not consistent. It's not on point. So you, the aspirant, you may now believe that you are doing so many disciplines, chanting, doing all the rituals, going to the classes, practicing the exercise, eating the right food, all that you claim to be doing, but you're not. Why? Because you here, there, and that. So it ain't really working out for you. That's why it don't work. Trust me, I know. When you take shortcuts, when you deviate, stick to the plan. Okay. But in reality, you may come for class, once a week. You show up when you feel like it. And you start doing your exercises, maybe once or twice a week, where you're doing them every day. See the difference? See what's happening? Okay, watch this. I tell you do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, keep your body right. You're only doing 50 here and 25 there. And then at the month, man, that stuff you told me didn't work. Really. I did it and I'm feeling good, looking good. What happened to you? Oh, you didn't follow the instruction like you should have. And you don't get the results that you're supposed to when you don't in anything. If they say put a teaspoon, you put 2 teaspoons, you done messed up. You put a half a teaspoon, you done messed up. Follow the rules. My favorite story, Icarus. Him and his father made wings so they could fly out of prison. They was enslaved, so they got pigeon wings, feathers, and built them some wings. The father gave him instructions. He said, son, when we get out here, don't fly too high. You get close to the sun, the heat will melt the wax. If you get too close to the water, you can't fly too low because the mist from the water will moisten the wings and make them fly, so you'll fall. Yeah, I got it. What do he do? What most people do, showing off, showing dad how he can fly. No, son, too late. He went too close to the sun and the wings start melting. Boom, party's over. Why? He didn't follow instructions. So I used that as my lifelong story. Whatever he told me to do, I did. By the book. Okay, that's my little personal life story. But even up to taking your vitamins 3 times a week and things you're supposed to do every day, you see what's happening now? In the morning worship, you do that now twice a week, etc. You see where I'm going with this? You done broke all the rules. You done shortchanged, deviated. So you can't expect it to work. But some people will. And watch this. When they don't, they complain about the teaching or the people who taught. It ain't my fault if what I'm telling you to do, you don't do. It ain't my fault. If you do what I tell you to do and it don't work, now we can talk. I'm here all the time. I ain't going nowhere. So I have yet to have somebody tell me it don't work. So understand that. All right. So then the next week, these same disciplines are left out in favor of what other stuff. You done got interest somewhere else. You done been pulled aside. Okay. Now the results of this situation, where so many things are being done, but the quality ain't there in none of them of those other things, and now it's become degrading, and they do not have any effect at all of purifying one's mind or shielding it from worldly entanglements. Why? You all in. You done fell in. In fact, all those disciplines, when practiced in the right way, can have the opposite effect. Ding, 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 ding. Right there. If you'd have done everything you're supposed to do, you wouldn't have that problem. The ones who don't, this is why they had a problem. Hope you understand that. Let me get this. I'm about to wrap it up. So now, and it would lead you out of the degraded personality. Why? Because now the effort that you yourself, self-effort, you put into what? Your daily practice. And then no longer frustrated when the feelings of anger, hatred, greed, lust, etc., you are conquering them. You're eradicating them. The ego has no more power. You start to take control of yourself. Still remain leads to what? The idea that the teachings what does not work, or the aspirant may simply get caught in again the worldly experiences that took him away from the teachings and took his focus off what he was doing. And then now the aspirant will come back to the teacher and ask, what the hell can I do? Where did I go wrong? Etc. Don't ask the teacher. Ask yourself. Go to the mirror and have that conversation with yourself. Why? Because you are the one who's doing it, not the teacher. You will receive encouragement, okay, and more advice. But then now the cycle begins what? All over again. So there is no ultimate progress. You've done nothing but spin your wheels for however long time it was, whatever thing, you got nothing out of it. That's truly a waste of your time. Not mine, not the teacher. No, yours. Be responsible. This is because at the stage, what is most important is to what? Your daily practice of the disciplines that you're learning and following and listening to your spiritual counseling. And if necessary, sometimes what? But if the disciplines are not practiced, and the counseling will also not be effective. I can't teach what you ain't gonna do. If I'm giving you instructions, you ain't following them, I can no longer help you. Ignorant people who like being ignorant, I can't help them. People who believe they know and don't know, I can't help them. I know the difference, okay? So, for this reason, the following list, I got a checklist for you, may be better understood when you are actually what? Fulfilling it, practicing the teachings, and when you are actually not. Before calling your preceptor, your teacher, me, look at the list and see if you are truly following the instructions or not. That's perfect instruction. Before you get to calling and playing and bitching, you should check you first. What did I do wrong? Where did I do what I didn't do? Something to that effect. Not blaming someone else. Most of us go through life doing just that, never taking responsibility. Moving on. But wrapping it up, again, I appreciate you tuning in. I ain't trying to belittle you, just trying to enlighten you. Truth hurts a little bit. It's okay. It'll get better for you. If you find out that you are not, then make your own personal necessary adjustments in your own on your own spiritual practices and on your path to self-enlightenment. You are the common denominator. Good, bad, or different. It's all about you. Okay? And then, if need be, you ask for assistance. And it will always be needed and have somebody to call for advice on your spiritual life. That's it. I don't need to be in your person. I don't give a damn about your marriage, relationship. We're only going to deal with the spiritual aspects of your life. That's what I'm here for. Not your personal marriage counselor or relationship advisor. That's not what I do. Sorry. But I keep a spiritual understanding. You can keep a spiritual diary. I don't write nothing down except my lessons. Everything else I keep here. I learned a lesson a long time ago. I used to be the master of numbers. I would get your phone number and remember it, hold it to memory. That's a little game I played with my mind. So I had a good understanding of how to remember things. I would categorically put it, and I could use it to my benefit. I got good at that. The girls loved it. Oh, he remembered my number. He didn't never write it down. Little game I played. All right, again, with the mind. Even when this was wrong, I still had games. I had plenty games. Okay, but now with a spiritual diary, along with your table, I got a checklist for you coming up. Note over time how your personality has changed, and you seek to avoid what the prior mistakes that you made of in the past. That's how you change. You don't do the things that you used to do no more. Why? They wasn't good. So you have to make change. And this says, see the book, Initiating to Egyptian Yoga. This book is to get you how to be your best self, teach you how to be you by giving you instructions to help you. You don't know, so you have to be instructed. Again, this is the most sophisticated machinery known to man. It don't come with instructors. I'm one. Check this out. And when you reach the level of spiritual enlightenment, as an aspirant, you check off all the things you're supposed to do. I'm gonna go over that in 1 second. I see I got a few minutes. I hope I can do it in the next 5 minutes. I'm gonna rush through it, so to speak, while I get it in, because I really spend time doing other stuff, but I want to get the checklist in too. So I'm gonna show you a table below, but you must be able personally, this is personal, to check each item when you got a daily bracket, you got a weekly bracket, you got a monthly bracket, and yeah, you got an annual yearly bracket. I told you 1 year to learn one aspect of my philosophy. It takes 1 year for each one. So in 5 to 7 years, you have reached self-mastery. Woo! Okay, well, how old are you now? So don't complain about what it takes and how the time it is. Just use it. And in order for you to consider yourself a practicing right thinking or thinker and learning the teachings of right thinking philosophy, which is called Shita Netta and Smatawi, I tell you it all the time, in my philosophy, all that's kicked into my right thinking philosophy is my spiritual gumbo. All right, but it is important for you to practice your daily disciplines. When daily, excuse me, because this regular practice is consistency, and it will be the most effective way to transform one's mind, body, and soul. However, if one practice is missed, 1 day of not practicing, and that's your problem. Of course, my teacher, my man, Bruce Lee, did not miss a day of training. I've been 7 years doing this. I haven't missed a day of teaching, so I got that philosophy, and that's where I got it from. And I'm holding myself accountable to just that. So, again, when you practice, if you miss 1 day, then you got the choice to let it go or double up to make it right. That's what a qualified aspirant will do. If I miss, I'm going to make up for it. What I didn't get, I got to make up for it. I got to put twice as much work in. That's my philosophy. I live by that. I understand that. And they saying it right there. So, yeah, I already got that mentality. And the next day, what? You pick it up, if possible. Or make it up on the weekend. But you got to make it right. You got to feel good about what you're doing. And if you half-step and half-assing and feeling good about it, you won't succeed. You got to hold yourself accountable, okay? So this is what you do. And what you do not say is, yesterday is past, and I cannot go back and let me forget about it and start today. No. Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. No, do it today, and when tomorrow comes, that'll be today. You continue to do that. That's called consistency. Now let me take you right quick to the checklist. This is what it looks like. And this is for people who are serious about changing their life. I'll run through this checklist right here. This is the weekly, this is the daily, weekly, monthly, annual. You see there ain't much stuff on the annual. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. But the main stuff is right here. Let me run through it right quick for you. And this is your daily personal checklist, and I love it. Essential daily practice, essential weekly practices, and essential monthly practices, and essential annual practices. It ain't but 2 annual. You attend the conference if you're part of a group. You go to conference every year. Y'all meet, do the group thing, and you make your annual observance of what we call the Kemetic New Year. You celebrate the concepts, okay, philosophical. And the monthly, this is what they get the 10% from. You give a donation of 10%. That's where it comes from. I know different, but how about this one? Celibacy. You practice no sex more than once per month. Some people will have a problem with that. And if you get it once, that's a pleasure. Why? Because I did it for a year, not once, not none. 12 months. A little longer. But that's dedication that everybody ain't having. I understand that. That's why it ain't for everybody. What I do ain't for everybody. I understand that. Let's go. So now, essential weekly progress. You keep good company with elevated personalities like the sage, the teacher, and other people who are aspirants like yourself, wanting to be better for themselves. Don't hang around people who don't do what you do. Okay, that's called toxicity. Those kind of people, they're going to argue, fuss, and fight. You don't need that in your life. Selfless service. Selfless, not selfish. Selfless, that means do something for 1 hour every week at least. I see Shaq, he want to do something good for somebody. If you're in that position, you can't be no better than that. Why? Because you're using your money and your power and what you have to help somebody who is in need. I love that. And everybody talking good about Shaq. Why? Because he's a human being. He ain't just one Shaq. No, he help people out. And that's what enduring people tell you. Why? He ain't helping everybody. He ain't gonna just know, but he know where to pick and choose what people he help out. I like the way he go about it. He said he seen a single mom and the child, him and his mom. I ain't going there. But that's a good thing, okay? That's called giving back. That's called giving back. No matter how many millions you get, don't mean a damn thing if you ain't using it for betterment to somebody else. Why? You got it. Help somebody else with it. I got that in knowledge. I ain't got dollars for you. I got knowledge for you. If you want that, I'm the man. If you want money, go find Shaq. Hang out with him. All right. Let me wrap it up right this one. Oh, Lord. Oh, I got to get it in. Let me wrap it up. Your essential daily practices. This is the checklist that you want to be having your pen in your hand, like I always do. Why I'm always prepared to write. I'm a writer. All right. Start out with nutrition, vitamins, and supplements. I don't do that. Don't take no pills. No. I take Benadryl when I have an allergic reaction. Other than that, I don't do none of that. That's your thing. I can't check that box. So that box is vacant. Moving on. Nutrition, vegetation. I don't do that either. I'm picky about what I eat. I just ain't a junk food eater no more. Cut a lot of stuff out. So I don't need a nutritionist to tell me what and how to eat. I love them. My Jamaicans, they got remedies. I love that. And I'm going to get into that as I go. But right now, that ain't important. Smoking, ain't a problem. I don't do that. Okay, drugs, again, alcohol, don't do that. If you think you can be spiritually and still do these things, you're wrong. That's why they got you telling you what not to do. Daily worship. Do that. Okay. It was said 3 times a day. Sunrise, high noon, and sunset. I got that covered. Some people use the 4 corners of the 4 directions of the earth. Muslims use 5 times a day. Whatever works for you, I don't discriminate or argue about none of that. Okay. Everybody got their way. 8 hours of sleep. I'm a 6-hour man. I'm good at 6 hours. Okay. At 9, I'm in bed. By 3, I'm up. So, yeah, 6 hours works perfect for me. Now, some people, 7, 8, 5, 4, whatever works for you. Again, it ain't in stone what I do. Okay. So, like I said, they say 8, I'm saying 6. So, we ain't got to be on the same page with the hours and the time. Next one is go to bed by midnight. Oh, by midnight, I'm 3 hours in. Okay, I'm waiting for the other half of that so I can get up at 3:30. Okay, that's my way I do it. Okay, again, wake up early by 8. That's 8 hours. I don't need that much sleep. That's just me. Moving on. Study of your spiritual scriptures daily. Reading systematically per M. Haru book text. Okay, the book of the day we call it. Okay, yeah, per M. Haru. I keep my books to what? Study daily. Why? I'm a teacher. I got to study in order for me to teach. So I'm learning from the cradle to the grave. I've been learning since I was a kid. I'm still learning. Now I'm teaching, but I'm still a student of life. So I'm still learning how to be my best self. Next one is, this is a good one. Abstaining from company with negative people. Ding, 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 ding. Told you, if you're around negative people, they're gonna suck your energy, okay? They just energy suckers, okay? They're not positive, they're negative. They're gonna drain you, they're gonna suck you. You don't need to be called succubus, okay? They suck your energy from you. You're positive, good energy, they're gonna suck it right out of you. Okay, you know, you leave people, you feel, damn, I just ran a race. Yeah, they've been sucking your energy. You dry. You got to reboot. Why? Get away from them. They're sucking you dry. Again, abstain from being in that environment. My favorite, silent meditation, 20 minutes twice a day. I advocate that. I live that one. That's my favorite. I just said I love to meditate, okay? Practice breathing rhythmically 10 minutes twice a day. Proper breathing is important for daily meditation. Why? Because it gets the body to relax and the mind frees itself and it goes where it needs to go. That's why it is important that you breathe it right, okay? Practice physical exercise. 15 minutes a day. I ride the bike 5 miles for an hour a day, every day. But during that hour, I'm reading and studying. So that's a 2-in-1 for me on that deal. I love that deal. Why? I can study and get my lesson, prepare with my lesson, and I'm getting my action and my cardio. Then I go to the massage bed and do my thing. All right. Again, almost there. Appreciate you tuning in. You have to observe the 42 Confessions of my yacht. I've been rocking with her for over 30 years. I'm proficient, and I love the way I live that. I put that in, and I've been good ever since. When I first got it, I wasn't too proficient. I can smile now because that's how far I can know. I'm judging myself. I remember I wasn't good at 42 Confessions of my eye. Now I'm proficient, so I know I made the change. And that means daily meditation, especially, these are the things that you hold yourself accountable not to do. No lying, no cheating, no stealing, no killing, no hurting others, and no money chasing. Material, I add that. If most people do stuff for money, most material stuff is done because of money. What? To get it, to obtain it. And money is the way to do that. So money is the root of most evils. All right? And ignorance, keep them two together, you got a bad person. Moving on. Last one. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm not going to read the fine print. I don't think you held you long enough. I'm going to let you go after this one. This is one. No talking for an hour during work hours. Quiet yourself. Still yourself. What? And to communicate with God. That's how you know you and God are one. When you stop everything going on and only communication you got is with your higher self, God. That's why I meditate. That's what I love to do. Why I'm communing with God on a daily basis. I'm good to go. Are you? Practice these things and better yourself if you walk in that spiritual path. This ain't for everybody. Trust me. I know that. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 miles a day. So I know my right thinkers who now understand how to be a qualified aspirant and checklist for the lives on the spiritual path every day and passed away. I'll be right back.